Hello. This is the second part of the report for Chapter 16, Working Capital Management. I am your presenter, Joanne Ang. I am currently taking up my Master in Business Administration course in Ateneo de Davao University. This video is one of the requirements of our financial management class. I hope that you learn a lot from this short but informational AVP. Here is our topic outline. On the current asset side, we'll be discussing inventories and accounts receivable. For current liabilities, we'll be talking about accounts payable, bank loans, commercial paper, accruals, and the use of security for short-term financing. Let's now proceed to inventories. Inventories are composed of supplies, raw materials, work in process, and finished goods. Inventory management requires extensive use of computers for many purposes. Examples are to keep track of inventory, set reorder points, report turnover of items, even suggest a price cut if an item is slow moving. Inventory management is under the control of production and marketing managers. Financial managers are involved through 1. Capital budgeting analysis of which computer system is best to acquire to track inventory. 2. Raise capital for needed additional inventory. And 3. Identify areas of weaknesses that affect a firm's profitability using ratios and other procedures. We now move on to accounts receivable. We know that a big part of a company's sales are on credit. That is why it is important for us to discuss three important features of managing accounts receivable. These are credit policy, setting and implementing the credit policy, and monitoring accounts receivable. For the first feature of credit policy, there are four variables: credit period, discounts, credit standards, and collection policy. We'll look into these variables one by one. Credit period is the length of time buyers are given to pay for their purchases. Generally, customers prefer longer credit periods. However, this poses two possible problems for the company. First, a longer credit period lengthens the cash conversion cycle, tying up more capital in receivables. Second, the longer a receivable is outstanding, the higher the probability that a customer will default on his payment. Now, the second variable of credit policy. Discounts are price reductions given for early payment. Offering discounts has two benefits. The first is price reductions stimulate sales, and the second, discounts encourage customers to pay earlier. This shortens the cash conversion cycle. There is one drawback though to this variable. Lower prices will mean lower revenues. With both benefits and a drawback, a good balance in the use of discounts will serve the business well. Moving on to the third variable, credit standards refer to the required financial strength of acceptable credit customers. For business customers, tools such as debt and interest coverage ratios are used to gauge financial strength. For individual customers, credit scores from credit rating agencies are used. In all this, the key question is the customer likely to be willing and able to make the required payment on schedule? For the fourth and last variable, collection policy refers to the procedures used to collect past due accounts. A firm should not be too lax or too strict trying to collect past due accounts. Firms just need to be persistent enough to be able to collect and not drive away possible profitable customers. Now that we're done with the four variables of credit policy, we can now proceed to the next feature of accounts receivable, which is setting and implementing the credit policy. Credit policy is important for three main reasons. It has a major effect on sales, it influences the amount of funds tied up in receivables, and it affects bad debt losses. The credit policy is so important that the firm's executive committee, which includes the president and the vice presidents for finance and marketing, have the final say on it. To help with credit investigation, several organizations like Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion use computer-based networks to collect, store, and distribute credit information. Specifically for businesses, Dun and Bradstreet provides detailed credit reports over the internet for a fee. Another important concept is credit score. Credit scores are numerical scores that are based on a statistical analysis and provide a summary assessment of the likelihood that a potential customer will default on a required payment. Hearing about all the technicalities of credit policy and its implementation, we realize that it is a risk for a company to sell on credit. However, credit sales can be profitable for a business if it charges carrying charge on the receivables that are outstanding. Credit sales may even be more profitable than cash sales if not offset by bad debt losses. Now that we know how to set and implement the credit policy, we go to our final feature, monitoring accounts receivable. There are two equations that we can use in this feature. First, the total amount of accounts receivable outstanding at any given time is determined by the volume of credit sales and the average length of time between sales and collections. This gives us the equation accounts receivable is equal to the sales per day multiplied by the length of the collection period. For the second equation, the firm's day sales outstanding, or DSO, shows on average how long it takes before receivables are collected. We have the equation day sales outstanding is equal to receivables divided by average sales per day. The DSO computed can be compared to the firm's credit terms. If, for example, the firm's credit term is 30 days and their DSO is 40 days, this means that some of their customers are paying late. This could make room for review and improvement of the firm's collection policy.